Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Lotus Operations. And in today's category, we are going to be beginning our water filtration systems. We are still in the winter months, but I think it is a good time to start the water collections so we can prep you for summertime in case you are ever out there and need to collect water in a drier environment. And whether it's a wet environment too, but right now is the optimal time for water filtrations and collections. So let's begin the video. Okay everyone, and as you can see behind me, I have about 30,000 gallons of fresh water right here that is treated with chlorine. Now there's a lot of people who tells me, oh man, you shouldn't be drinking your swimming pool water in the worst case scenario. But honestly, it's actually your best and cleanest water source that you can have if shit hit the fan. Now what I have here is the Spec Ops Survival Guide that I teach y'all from. And we are going to be going over a few little tips here and what I've learned that you can do from the pool chlorine water to make it drinkable. So in case you do run out of a water source, which will be the most critical when everything does collapse, because food and water will be the hardest things to gather out there. And when it comes to surviving, you can only survive 3 days without water and up to 3 weeks without food, depending upon your body type and what you are doing. Now, when you are collecting water, try to find the water from the cleanest source as possible. Consider all water that you find contaminated, whether it be from lakes, streams, rivers, water puddles, rain. Yes guys, even rain is contaminated water. When you are filtering water, the only drinkable water that there is, that you do not have to filter with iodine, bleach, purification tablets, boiling, sand, charcoal, stuff like that, is water from plants, because plants already naturally filter the water. The only issue that you're going to run into is potentially if the water is contaminated with chemicals and poisons, will the plant absorb those chemicals and poisons also? But what I want to show you today, because I'm going to be making several videos, one dealing with plants. I already got one out that deals with plants, but another one that deals with banana trees, collecting water from them. We're going to actually show you how to add the bleach to your water to sterilize it. We're going to actually also collecting rainwater and sterilizing it. I'm going to be building solar stills. We're going to be building regular stills to purify water, and we're even going to build our own homemade water filtration devices. But for today, I want to show you a little trick in case you have a swimming pool, how you can collect water and make this drinkable water in reality so that you can survive until the water comes back on in your city or until you have to move on. So what you want to do is you want to have a swimming pool here, of course. Ta-da! Fresh water collected. You want it as clean as possible. So that's why, even though in a survival situation, keep it chlorinated. Now, chlorine cannot be exposed to sunlight because it will evaporate out of the water and the sunlight destroys the chlorine. That is why you have to add chlorine weekly to a swimming pool, because the chlorine depletes itself. So the best thing to do is, let's say you need water. You're going to take your container, whatever it is, gallon, quarts, pints, but I just grabbed a quart glass right now as it is, because also I am going to be doing another informational thing on this and I need a clear jar. So you're just basically going to collect your water, get your water up. We're going to seal the water. Actually, no, you don't seal the water. Never mind, because you'll trap the gases in there. And then what you want to do is you want to just take your water that you are trying to decontaminate, as long as the doggies don't mess it up. For me, I'm going to put it over here. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your water, and you're going to put it in the sunlight here. Okay? Now, what you want to do is you want to have the optimal sunlight and heat. Now, the hotter it is, the faster the chlorine evaporates. The colder it is, it's going to take a little bit longer. But right now, if we drink the water, I can taste a little bit of chlorine in it. Not bad. I need to add my chlorine to my pool. But right now, I can taste chlorine in it. Okay? So, you don't want to drink lots of chlorinated water due to the fact that it is actually bad for your body. But if you allow this jar to sit in the sunlight in a hot environment. Now you can seal it off and it will speed up the process, but then it still traps the chlorine gas in there. So you'd have to have a way of releasing the chlorine gas slowly while increasing the temperatures inside the glass. But you could take and leave the glass right here, and then in about 2 hours to 3 hours, you could taste it again. And once you do not taste any more chlorine in the water, all the chlorine would have evaporated out of the water and became a drinkable source of water. Now, that is if you do not have a way of boiling water. So let's say we don't have power in our house and our sources and stuff like that. Go ahead, build yourself a fire at your fire pit. Boil the water until all chlorine is gone. Same process. Taste the chlorine water and take the little drops here and there until you actually get to the point where you do not taste the chlorine anymore. About 5 minutes of boiling will actually be your optimal time where all the chlorine would have evaporated out of the water, therefore allowing it to become drinkable water. Now with the chlorine water from the pool, you do not have to worry about bacteria and organisms inside the water due to the fact that the chlorine would kill them all off. So that is a good informational tip for those of you out there who has a swimming pool. That now you know if shit hit the fan, you don't have water bottles, you got 30,000 gallons right here in your backyard. I hope y'all found this informational. I'll be doing some more water survival tips with the jar coming up. And I hope everything is good to go. So Lotus Operations out. Stay tuned and prepare for the collapse of the economy because I have a feeling it's coming soon. Lotus Operations out.